adjust my mic. Oh, by the way, just for that I forgot to maybe say about the reason I'm re-uploading the unedited streamed versions to YouTube is because Twitch decided like after 10 years that they will limit the VOD capability that is being able to to 100, because like all of my dev live shows were and still are on Twitch as well, but they decided to like limits to 100 hours, and I had like, I don't know, 5k hours of VODs, so it's like 11 years, right? It's a lot. So basically I will have to re-upload the unedited versions as well, one by one, which is a hard work, but I will have to do that. So yeah,
That's
sucks.
so dumb.
It sucks. Yeah. It's bad because like they haven't done it for 11 years or more, right? So it's like now they suddenly decide to do that.
Must be getting expensive or something.
Exactly.
But it's Amazon. Like, it's
exactly
they don't lack money.
Exactly. So. It's so stupid. Like I was so mad at this decision, but at least not just me. So yeah. Okay, let me check if on Twitch everything is working fine, and then I will be sitting in my original position. Let me check if on Twitch everything is working fine, and then perfect. Okay. Let me also share the Steam page of the game on the chat, so people can. Nice. Okay, perfect. Sorry, I'm just always double checking everything in order not to have lag or anything, because on the Twitch end, you never know.
No problem.
You never know.
Best to make sure everything's going all right.
Okay, let me know, guys, if we can start. Let me know if you are down to start. Let me know.
Yeah, okay. Let's go.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Welcome everyone in the very new episode of my Dev Live show. Today I'm joined with the two creators of the game called Bubble Ghost Remake. First of all, I would like to say that I am very thankful and very honored that you joined us for today's episode. And like I'm always saying, let's start with a little bit of introduction. So please, both of you, introduce yourself for us.
Chema, you go first.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm Chema Esteo. I'm the art director and animator from Bubble Ghost Remake. The studio is Nakama Game Studio, in case you don't know. And well, I studied fine arts in my college years, and decided to focus on video games. I love video games. I love art from video games. I think they are the reason because I studied fine arts.
I see.
So I started to work to develop my skills, like 3D art or illustration, animation specifically. Well, when this team gathered up, I received the honor to be the animator and accompany Nestor, my colleague, to make shape of this game. So Nestor is better to introduce himself.
Yeah, we got the chance to do Bubble Ghost Remake. We started out as like it was more low key, nothing like official at first, but the demo that we pulled out did really well in a game festival that we went to. So we got the chance to do this as a job, like full time.
I see.
And that was wonderful. Chema later joined in as animator and art director. Me and a friend, we started developing like the game, and then it got like into whole production. And we were called BD Bond Games at first, and then we are Nakama Game Studio. We have rebranded. We have a really cool new aesthetic, and was super excited to release this game at the end of this month. 27 or 28, is it? Chema, do you know? I'm not sure.
27,
one of those days.
Remember correctly, yeah.
We have 27 with the release date in some stores, and they got confused. But the official date is 27.
I see.
Ah, okay. That's why I wasn't sure. All right. So, yeah, we're super duper excited. And a bit more about me. I'm a digital artist. I studied multimedia design in Germany. I later did a master's degree in video games because I was really, really passionate about them.
I see.
And I'm called Nesty Boy online, and I'm super passionate about my work. I think putting your creativity into your work is super satisfying. I want more people to play games and to feel the same joy that we felt as kids playing video games. That's the goal.
That's the inner child in us, right? So you have to keep that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Thank you for that.
Allow the inner child to be happy and play games.
True.
Life is stressing as it is.
You don't have to stress more, right? You have to find something to be happy about. Yeah. Thank you for this interaction from both of you. Thank you. So my very first question would be, and the question, of course, goes to both of you. What was your very first contact with video game as a player, if you remember those times of your past? So again, of course, question goes to both of you. And we can start with the same order if you are down to that.
Like which one was our first game?
Yeah, like what first game and first memory. Yeah, as a player, yeah.
First game.
I think I have it. I specifically remember when my brother came back to home from some holidays with his Mega Drive and Sonic.
Nice.
Sonic and Jurassic Park, both games were my first contact with video games. But my very first console was PlayStation 1. It was I went nuts when I received it. It was amazing for me. It was like an open door for a new world of fantasy and experiences. But specifically, I remember the moment when I received the Mega Drive with Sonic and Jurassic Park, were my very first contact with them.
Nice.
Hell yeah. That sounds very nice. That sounds dope. Like a great first gaming experience. True. I'm not sure, but I think the first game that I played was Crash Nitro Kart on the Game Boy Advance.
Nice.
It was super fun. I got introduced to games like through there. I wanted to play Pokemon Emerald. My parents wouldn't let me, so I think I played
Why?
a Monsters Inc. game or something as well.
Okay.
I also played in The Incredibles.
Nice.
Like there were all these like weird movie games for the Game Boy.
True. Do you still have your Game Boy, by the way?
Yes, and it works. Not here, but it works surprisingly.
Nice.
And it was a great piece of hardware. I think later I had a huge Wii phase where I played a lot of Mario games on the Wii, and Wii Sports was also legendary for me.
I see.
Just really good times. One of my favorite PC games of my early days playing video games were Warcraft 3.
Okay.
I love Warcraft 3 so much.
Nice.
And Rayman 2 and 3, the first Rayman, one of the earlier Rayman titles. Really cool stuff.
I miss Raymans, by the way. Ubisoft should be making another Rayman sequel, yeah.
They supposedly are. I
heard about that too. Yeah. Maybe we will know about that soon. Yeah.
Let's see. A lot of stuff gets cancelled.
True.
That we never know about.
True. Sadly, I would say. Yeah.
Let's cross our fingers. I'd love for a new Rayman title.
True.
That would be amazing.
True.
Please,
we are lacking of platformer games, by the way. Nowadays, I feel like we need more platformers. So yeah.
Yes. 100%.
True. What was
100%.
the transition time, by the way, from that part of your life when both of you realized that you loved playing video games, but you would like to also work on video games? So what was that light bulb moment in your head when you realized that, hey, I would like to work on video games because I love playing them, but also it would be nice to have a job as a career, right, to work on video games, and how it happened for you?
I think there wasn't like one defining moment of eureka, now I know I want to work in video games.
I see.
I think I've always gravitated towards them. I've always had the interest, and I've always liked to draw, so it just made sense. Okay, this medium seems good to me to express myself in. But as a child, I drew a lot of comics. So I don't know when exactly the time came, but I knew I was passionate about them as a medium because I think the extra layer of interactivity that you don't have with other mediums like books or movies or whatever.
True.
I think that extra layer, the interactivity with the player, is so special that it allows for so many cool stories to be told. And I think that's when I knew that I wanted to do some on my own right.
I see.
And then I made my first game in 2018. It was like a prototype of a game that we're developing right now. And when you start like coding and drawing stuff, then you know, yes, this is fun. Making something and playing it.
True.
But that's just a really addicting loop, right?
True. Very true.
I actually have a specific moment, like the Mega Drive one. I used to spend most of my afternoons with internet. Here we only can connect to internet after 6 p.m. So we have to use the time we had very specifically and doing specific things.
I see.
I'm talking about 25 years ago, more or less. So I remember researching in the internet about one of my favorite sagas, like Final Fantasy and so RPGs. I love RPGs.
Nice.
And I found RPG Maker.
Okay.
XP and 2003. I can recall. And I started making some video games with ripped sprites from Chrono Trigger or the first Final Fantasy, some kind of these games. I started to make something specifically big, bigger than expected. I spent like a year maybe doing something that went to no way because it was no good game, but I learned a lot about narrative and graphics and combat systems, stats, and I was like 12 maybe when I decided to focus to learn more and face this project or another project in the future with more knowledge and with more idea of what to do. So I had a lot of happy ideas, I want to call, because it was like I want to get this summoning and a final boss that will change. It was impossible to me because I had no idea. I was a kid. But now I look back and I see that I made a lot of small decisions to get this kid happy, because now I know how to do all these things. And recently I saw there is a new RPG. I don't know, RPG with, I think RPG Maker with or something like that. And it was like I know this app, like the responsible of me being here. So I have to credit them to make me who I am now.
I see.
Yeah.
Would you go?
So they brought you where you are.
Sorry.
Is what you mean?
Yeah.
Would you go back, by the way, to that dream game to make that you always wanted as a kid? Speaking of this topic that you mentioned,
I really would like to make an RPG, of course.
I see.
An action RPG. I don't know if I will in the future, but it's my dream. Of course, it's my dream. We hope we can in the future.
Maybe next game, who knows? Spoiler time, right? Maybe. Okay, who knows? Yeah. Personal
Can't
question.
say, but it would be fun.
Yeah, true.
I'm more of a platformer guy myself.
I see.
But
you can include both, right?
really
it would be a mix, right? It would be a new genre to make.
That
platformer
that
RPG. Who knows?
Indies are the place to experiment.
True,
so if someone's gonna make a platformer RPG, then that should be us. We need to try it. Well, I'm sure people have done something similar.
We have to think about that.
True.
It sounds fun, I think.
Nice. A more personal question from me would be, by the way, were your family members, parents, and close friends supportive about this decision of yours that you started working on video games and in the video game industry? How do you feel about it?
Not at first.
Okay,
Not at first.
okay.
But they were. Well, I mean, they've always known that I wanted to.
I see.
But they had like the hopes that I would go in a more like marketing direction. I did at first, but when the opportunity came to do video games, I never looked back. I jumped the ship immediately because this is something that I felt that I wanted to do.
True.
So I've had more of a general study area just in case.
I see.
But
okay.
This is where I want to be, right?
Plan
so
B.
Now that I'm doing it and that they see what I'm working, they are more happy, right?
I see.
And they are more supportive. Like recently, we went to a game showcase in Malaga.
Okay.
And I invited my parents over, and then they saw what I was making, and then they were like, "Oh, very nice, Nestor. We're supportive. We like what you're doing." So they just needed to warm up to it.
I see.
Exactly. What about you, Chema? I'm curious.
I've been incredibly lucky because my father, both my parents, let me do whatever I wanted.
Okay.
They only wanted me to be graduated from the university, from the college.
I see.
In any area I wanted. So I could choose, but I decided to study fine arts, as I said. And they supported me in every decision I made because they saw me happy and focused on my work. So they saw I can manage myself. I work in lots of areas: graphic design, multimedia, even in retail stores. I work it everywhere. And I focus on video games not so far away, like 3 years more or less. And they saw it's something that I can work, pay my bills, and still do this for a living while I enjoy my work.
True.
On the other hand, my brother is not so supportive because he's more traditional. He's a lawyer. He's more a gentleman. He's like, you always with your games. When are you going to grow up? I know he's supporting me, but he doesn't understand what I'm.
I've heard that one before.
Yeah. It's being scared for your life, right? In order to support you, right? So it's a different type of support, I guess we could say.
Yeah, there's of course always a healthy concern, I guess, but at a certain point you need to respect someone's wishes, and if they've chosen to dedicate their life to something that must be important to them, right?
True. And like you said at the beginning, it's like about being happy, right? So what makes you happy in order to do that? Yeah.
Right, exactly. I have one question. Do we answer the chat's questions at the end or like in
close
between?
Close to the end. Yeah. Or if you want, you can answer now as well. If it's up to you. I always do that at the end, so it doesn't cut the whole process.
Okay. We can do it at the end. Sounds good to me. Perfect.
Yeah. So speaking of
Gemma, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, go for that. Sorry. You started to say something.
Did you want to say something? You were like...
I already forgot, so don't worry.
Okay.
If you remember it, just say it. Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry for that. So, by the way, speaking of the topic of supportive background, mental supportive background, do you guys think that it's important to you to have this mentally supportive background in your life in order to chase your dreams, or no? Or you could do it anyway?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
Because I think it's easy to see it like I don't need it because I already did it.
I see.
But I know I did it because I have this support.
I see.
So I think mainly my girlfriend who lives with me, she showed me to work hard, to focus on my job, to fight for achieving them.
I see.
So I know that her support and her good words and they made me comfortable following this dream.
I see.
Because she understands what I'm looking for. And I think it's really important, and I'm not so sure that I could achieve this achievement without her support and many other supports, of course. As the same way, I really miss support from other friends, for example, that they don't ask me about this project or whatever. But I have to understand everyone is in an individual thing, and I cannot demand everybody to do what I expect them to do.
True, very true.
So yeah, of course, I think they are necessary, this support network around one, but you can't expect anyone to be this network.
True, and understand your passion and vision. Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, Chima is onto something. I agree. I think that it's I think the best way to look at it is I appreciate if someone shows interest in what I do and wants to support, but I'm not gonna go around demanding it. It's I think also because of the nature of why we do art, that support is very important to me, at least. I draw and create stuff most partially because I enjoy it. It's fun. It gets my creative juices flowing, but also I want to show it to someone and I want to share that.
True.
Art is to be shared, like most things in life, right? So having someone that appreciates it is a huge plus. I don't know if totally necessary, but it's definitely it's something that you appreciate when your work is recognized, right? We're not making this game for ourselves. We're sharing it with the world. So we want players to like it.
Very true.
Of course.
Very true. Speaking of art, by the way, when was the time when both of you realized that, hey, I figured out what is my own style in art, in the form that I'm making video games? Because I believe that all creators have their own style, whether it's like animating, writing, or doing any work with the forms of art they make. When was the first time when you realized that, hey, it's my own style in this form of art?
Well, it evolves, right? You have your preferences, you have your specific art styles that you enjoy, that you want to pursue, but it evolves. Like when I look at my previous art, it's very different. It's not as stylized. I find so many errors in it. It's like the eternal struggle of the artist is, okay, I don't like my previous work. I only like what I just did. True. Because your preferences and what you like are always evolving. So.
Yeah, but I still believe that there are some core elements that is you in the art. So that's what I was asking before, that what those core elements are in your own art style, which could be said that, hey, it's you in the art form that you're making.
In Bubble Ghost Remake, I think you'll see an obvious inclination towards the wacky cartooniness. I really like the art style of Rayman Origins. I love it so much, and I love that expression and those colors, those lines, and I wanted to pursue something like that. Well, my personal art style is very much like that, but I
see.
I wanted the world to feel so lively and expressive, but not as colorful maybe as my personal style, with more somber colors, because I want the atmosphere to be important, and we are in a haunted castle afterwards. True. After all, in this game, right?
True. I see. What about you?
I as I said, in the academic learning of art, you have to learn the fundamentals, right? Anatomy, proportions, composition, and I had to apply this knowledge to something I didn't get any information about art in video games is very big area. So wanting to apply this knowledge into this specific job is not so a style thing. A style thing is more like a knowledge thing. So I didn't have a specific style where I found myself comfortable.
I see.
But more than a way to apply these elements into achieving something. For example, this haunting castle. We wanted to achieve it through color or composition or decoration, all these kind of things. The same way I made some 3D things, jobs in my past. Although it's not my main area of job, I loved them doing them because I had to apply this knowledge. Maybe I learned from painting with oil to a digital area like 3D. It's very challenging, and I love this kind of challenges. So I think it's more like getting the fundamentals right, and then fighting with yourself to see where you can reach. You know, I of course feel comfortable painting with watercolor, for example. But what if I apply this knowledge to oil? As I said, I like this kind of evolution. Maybe I find a lot of mistakes in my way, and I think it's the beautiful part too, because I can say I'm master of none, of course, but I know many things, and I enjoy this kind of process.
True.
Like learning is a lot of fun. Trying something new. Yeah, that's very true.
Speaking of process of working on this exact game, what was your favorite part or parts of the process itself?
Of the process of making this game in particular?
Yes.
Well, actually, one of the big walls in the development was the performance, for example.
Okay.
The game was made specifically for Switch, and Switch is very limited according to specs and so.
I see.
I'm so happy for the Switch 2 to come out. I'm so happy.
So we have to adapt all the animations to a new system, a new workflow that I never worked with before.
I see.
My most satisfying part was to learn this new process and applying it successfully. It was my most triumphal moment.
Okay.
You know, I'm capable of this, and I enjoyed it a lot. Of course, I continued working with this tool, and in the team they are more like making fun of me because I discovered one thing in this tool, and I have to apply it everywhere. For example, if you play Babel Ghost, you will see that many enemies follow Heinrich, the ghost, with her eyes, or their eyes. This is something I learned to do, and it was like I have to do this everywhere because I love it. They make fun of me because it's like, oh, Chema is making eyes following something. It's something new. But I enjoy this learning. So.
Hey, the game is better because of it. Now when you play it, you can be like, oh, look, he follows them with the eyes.
So if you play
such attention to detail,
pay attention to the eyes of the enemies, and you can figure out when I learned to do this, because in the previous assets they didn't follow the character, but after a certain point they do. So it's very clear.
But you also did go back a bit to certain enemies. I remember in the first world we have these cacti that shoot their spikes, and you went back and applied that to it.
Yeah, because I have so many. I was eager to change it, but I didn't change everywhere because I have no time. But there is a moment where everything follows you, so you will know.
That's so cool that like learning Spine for German was so much fun. I'm eager to give it a go as well. Eventually, I what was the most fun process for me? Various things, because I got to work on so many different parts of the game. I got to draw comics. I got to write poetry as like the script of the comics, because our game is told through like well, the more story segments, we tell them through comics, through poetry with the comics, through in-game cinematics, through pre-rendered cinematics. Working on the pre-rendered cinematics was so much fun as well, because I did study like I had like cinema related classes in my studies, and working in After Effects and making the videos was a lot of fun. But I think the thing that I enjoyed most was drawing creature designs for Bubble Ghost. Just making characters and monsters and making them look goofy and funny and a bit menacing, but not too much, because you know, Peggy 7 or Peggy 12.
True. You have to respect that. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what was the most fun. Just drawing fun creatures and then sending them to Chema and giving them so much life, making them
following
so crazy. Yes.
With many monsters, he was like bananas, and we have to say,
like,
okay,
I went crazy. Exactly.
Peggy 7. Remember, Peggy 7. There are many original designs and monsters, all of them from the mind of Nestor, that I really enjoyed animating them, because they were very characteristic. They were not dual common. If you find a fly, for example, or a mosquito, it's a specific mosquito that you will recognize as a Nestor's mosquito.
That's
right,
the on our side, right?
It's
like
nothing,
I was asking
it's nothing
about.
generic.
True.
It's nothing generic. Every creature in Bubble Ghost you'll find very specific to this world.
I see.
And a lot of the creature ideas came from our game designer, Manu. He like would give me like certain notes. Okay, this creature, like a mosquito, I wanted to do this, right? And then I would like try and make it as iconic as possible, basically, but still following like what the creature needed to do, right?
For example, the mosquito in itself, he runs in a line.
In a straight line.
Yeah, a straight line. So what if he has a helmet?
Oh, okay.
For example, and the mosquito has a helmet, because eventually the mosquito will stamp with the wall and will.
It protects him. Yeah.
Exactly. And we also needed to. Sorry, you were saying?
That's something Nestor came with, because the main idea of the design of the mosquito.
Right, and the mosquito also needed to be. We needed to show somehow that it would damage you, because in our game, since it's not like a classic platformer, just like for the audience, so they get an idea. You have a bubble, and your bubble will burst into anything it collides. But there's one mechanic where we flip that, and it doesn't pop the bubble, and you can. It has like a magnetic effect to the bubble. So we had to like make extra clear. Okay, this will pop your bubble. So we added just a bunch of spikes on the helmet. Or if I wanted to make, there's this chasing enemy. It's a giant shrimp that punches you. Okay, yes, the player will understand that this will pop the bubble, but how do I make it like extra clear? So it's the shrimp has punching gloves with with spikes. Just like super cartoony violence. Yeah.
I see.
That was so much fun. Best part of the process.
And also following with the eyes. Love that part.
That as well. That as well.
Actually, the shrimp follows you. So with her body and the eyes.
I see.
Wow! Double following.
True,
That was fun.
Super epic.
very true. What about the most challenging part or parts? Because you have spoken about your favorite part or parts. What about the most challenging, hardest part or parts of the process of making Bubble Ghost Remake?
Nevero.
Aha.
The Nevero. The ice. How do you say Nestor in English? Nevero?
But we have like an ice wall that you can use your breath, like the ghost can use his breath to interact with many environmental stuff, and we have like a snow, a bunch of snow, and you can blow at it and it'll fall, and it like destroys itself into multiple particle effects. It's like it doesn't just destroy on one bunch because it's like different areas of the snow and you destroy each part that you interact with. And that seems to have been a nightmare on the implementation part. I don't know much because I only did the texture. So
it was very simple concept, but for some reason, every time you play the game, you drop a coin, and it depends of the result. It will work or not. So
it would break a lot. Yeah.
It was a real pain. But in the artistic way, it was very simple because it was, as Nestor said, just a texture of snow breaking down into particles. It wasn't.
I see.
But we spent a lot of time doing this. If you can find this mechanic in the trailer, in the gameplay trailer.
Okay.
So pay attention and know that was a very hard part of the game. So
Yeah, and I remember we have sprints, right? Like every developer cycle, like 2 weeks or something, and in that specific area of time, we have a certain amount of tasks with release dates, deadlines, and we have to finish it to a certain point. And the Nevado, the snow thingy, it would get pushed back so many times. Like, sorry, we didn't finish this one.
It was not
I didn't
so
want to work on
difficult.
this.
It was not so difficult, but randomly it was. So not because of the difficulty itself, but the situation, the timing, the everything that surrounded this feature was difficult. But of course, there are many bosses that were really difficult to implement because of the logic, the interaction with the ghost and the bubble, animation, transition between phases. There was a lot of challenging parts, but this Nevero, this feature was like a meme for us, and we like to remember it like a final boss for ourselves.
Our lead programmer Rafa is also commenting, saying that actually the hardest part was getting the game to run at 60 FPS on Switch.
And it does.
Yeah, I can see that.
I see.
It does.
What
was the Switch wasn't doing it easy for us.
Yeah, you mentioned that before.
Like I said, I'm happy for the Switch software, and I hope it has amazing specs.
True. What was the causing effect, by the way, behind this issue with the snow?
Can you repeat,
effect?
Please?
What was the issue or the?
We don't know.
Oh, you didn't figure out. Oh, I see. You just solved. Okay.
No, it was a technical issue. So
I see.
We did artistically appealing this feature, but the solution and the implementation was a technical thing that.
Oh, I see.
We as artists, it's magic for us.
Oh, so, okay. I see.
Yeah, more of a programming nightmare, as I am aware.
I see. Okay.
So a little bit outside of our area of knowledge.
I see. Throughout the process of making Bubble Ghost Remake, was there anything that you guys needed to cut out from your own workflow, from your own work? And if the answer is yes, could you like bring it back to the table for the game?
Yeah. If we have ended up scrapping any features, right?
Exactly.
Well, Okay, yes, there's a few changes that were made, like certain things that just weren't viable because of the nature of the Switch and the performance. I remember we have a world that is like a garden, a botanic garden, and there's these vines that hang, and you could interact with them and push them around with your breath, and we would hide certain things under the vines. That was too complicated. It would really mess up the frames. So that, for example, didn't make it in. Or a big change that we made pretty late in development was the character design of one of our bosses. We used to have more of a dragon design. We went with a more snake approach because we wanted to release our game in China, and we didn't want any problems with... we got some feedback from our agency in Asia, right? So we had to make some changes to like respect their culture and go a bit more snaky with the boss. The first boss of the game is the one that went through the most iterations. Through our 2022 demo to our first attempt, it got changed a lot. A lot of changes were made there. But so yes, generally there's a few features that we couldn't put in. I remember, but if the game does well, those features could come. I don't know. Like we wanted to have more game modes as well. Game modes that I don't want to promise anything, but it depends on how the game does. But we have a lot of work that could become something.
I see.
For the players, right?
I see. What about you?
Well, Nestor answered everything I had to say, so I have nothing to add.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, like just many game modes that could be interesting to explore that have some work put into them. And we might see in the future or not. Who knows? Game development is like that.
True.
We prefer to polish what we actually have, that included
and then add new features, I guess.
Yeah. That the main reason of including these other game modes and so was to expand the gameplay time. And many of them, we came to the conclusion that they were artificially expanded this gameplay time.
I see.
And we didn't want it. So we prefer to offer a good ended gameplay and story and a story mode, original mode. The original mode is revamped for this new version of graphics and so on. So we prefer to do this the best way we could, than included modes that will recycle content to expand the game, but not really. Do I make myself clear?
But, I did understand it. Yeah.
Feature-wise, we do have. I think the game is very complete. Like it's a very complete experience, and we do have like an extra little something for those who finish the game.
Okay.
Our game includes the original levels from the original Bubble Ghost Remake as
all of the levels, or just some of the levels?
All of them.
All of them.
The entire classic game remastered in the graphics of of our game, of the newer title, and you unlock it when you beat the game. So it is a pretty round experience. So we already managed to have.
So it's like two games in one package, right? We could say so.
Yeah, we were in contact with the original creator, Christophe Andreani, among all the development. We came with the idea that including the original game was a necessary thing.
True.
Many people don't know this game, the original game, but many others remembers it clearly, with a strong feeling about it, being of the music or the gameplay or the challenging game that it was, as you said. So we had to include it, and the original creator followed this development, and he was agree with our choices of decoration, the difficulty, the score. Even he wanted to. I can't say more, but he wanted to add something personal to this mode.
Oh, okay.
There is an Easter egg related to this mode and the original creator, and that's all I can say. Because
you'll have to figure it out.
Yeah,
You have to
it's a good
play
surprise.
and see.
It's a good surprise to those that know him and his work. So just play the original mode and do your best to find this Easter egg.
Nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of difficulty, by the way, what was the goal with the difficulty setting itself for the remake compared to the original one?
I know that the game designer of our game would have a more profound answer, but
Okay.
it's a challenging game. It's a game that you feel proud of when you beat, right?
I see.
We have various bosses that are tough as nails, and it's a game that invites you to try and retry again. Like our main trailer really dives deep into that idea of be comfortable with the dying and trying again and again. the cutesy art style of this game offers a very fun contrast to the actual experience, right? It looks like a very chill, fun adventure, and it is, but it also will require patience from you, and also like what's the word I'm looking for? Prowess to defeat it. Right? It's a challenge, and you can like be proud of it and share it when you beat it, if you beat it, right?
If, of course, there is an if always, yeah.
We are actually concerned about this cutie style that Nestor said, because it's very appealing, very related to maybe cozy games.
True.
But it's not. It's a very
it's a challenging game.
You are going to suffer to complete it because it's a difficult game.
I see.
But I think the good point is that Manu, our designer, made a really good job not making it unnecessarily difficult. It's difficult, but not unfair.
No, it's not punishing. It's not like the troll Mario levels from Mario Maker, right? Yeah. It's fair. It's always fair. You'll die a lot, but you'll always blame yourself. Never the game.
Never the game.
It's fair, correct.
His leitmotif with this game was to conquer your dragons, to face them and defeat them. And Nestor said you will feel proud because you completed the game or the level or the area, because you can do it, but maybe it's so difficult that you need to try and try again and improve yourself. The ghost itself will not acquire new abilities or skills or movements. It's always the same, but the improvement comes from the player. It's the player who becomes better. And I think it's a very good focus of this game, because the original game was the same, was not learning new skills like Pokemon, for example, but you learn how to face situation by trial and error. You have to try, you have to die, and you have to try again.
True.
It's
exactly.
I think one of the
like Meat Boy, like Super Meat Boy.
Meat Boy, yeah, it was a very hard game, and it
was
is very
one
hard.
of the main inspiration for this game. Super Meat Boy, Celeste, these kind of games that will be difficult but not punishing. So you have to keep your state of mind correct to play this game. But if you got frustrated quickly, it's not your game. That's for sure.
Exactly, but it's still tough. Like
true.
If someone beats the game, I'll buy them a beer.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Is that I remember that the developers of Super Meat Boy reached out to those players who had the platinum trophy or achievements 100% on their Steam page for Super Meat Boy. Yeah, I remember they personally reached out for those people. Yeah, because they respected their time that they give into their game.
Of course, I want to congratulate anyone that beats the game, then 100% are a game, because that is no easy feat, and it's the least we can do. Someone putting so much time into something that we worked on. I mean, come on. That's I'm gonna be so happy when I see that for the first time.
True.
We made as artists, we made an special effort to congrat these gamers to complete the game, including some good moments and epic situation in the end of the game that I think they will appreciate as a reward, because maybe 20 hours maybe take you to complete the games in a first round. So it's a long time to pour into something we made with all of our love. So if you complete it, you will receive this thanks from the team. That we hope it's a rewarding ending that we tried our best to be.
I see.
Right. There's a lot of effort that were put into the end of the game. We have an amazing boss fight. We have so many cinematics and story moments. Like, the game itself does not balance the cinematic parts equally, right? Like, if we have a few at the start, then you have a bit of a gap, and then at the end it's like, cinematics. So it's really like,
now you get your cinematic time.
You got this far. Here's your reward. Yes.
Not Kojima style, but there are many cinematics in the end.
That's the cozy part, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Of course, you get to sit and watch them and be like, oh, wow. Yeah.
I see.
Exactly.
How do you deal with newcomer players, by the way, for those who might not go deep into harder experience, much more challenging experience? So when you got feedback even from the demo or public showcases, how have you dealt with like players' feedback from those players who might not be open-minded to more challenging games? Because it's also important, in my opinion, right, to deal with those players and their opinion and not change for your vision or sacrifice your vision in order to have
you are correct.
Easier game for them, right? So it's important to stick straight through your vision.
Of course. It's a tough balance to find, I think. There was a lot of feedback from the demos about the game's difficulty. We managed to, I think we used the feedback to our best, really trying to polish every mistake that people would find. Regarding difficulty, we have made a few accessibility improvements that will allow someone to have an easier entry into the game through our assisted mode. That basically simplifies a bit of the control scheme, making it more friendly to someone who's not accustomed to the old game, right? And it also affects a bit of the level design. So the level design, as well as the control scheme, is impacted through this choices you make at the start of the game. So you have a bit of a more forgiving experience. And if you care more about the art or the story, or just want a more relaxing experience, we have had that in mind. I don't. So yes, it will still. It's not going to be an easy game.
Goes
still,
easy.
but it's
an easier
we kept it in mind and we try to apply. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. Regarding to the art style and legibility of the levels, for example, we found out in some of these fairs where we took the game that many people didn't find clear where the bubble will pop and where not.
I see.
So we remade all our art direction, actually, to change and improve this legibility and make clear what things are background, what things are foreground, and what things will pop your bubble. So we made this because we made a lot of playtesting in this fair, and it was really useful for us to reach to this conclusion. In the gameplay, for example, we receive a lot of feedback, like if you play, the ghost only faces 8 directions. And this is a design decision, and is the vision's the author. And we have to keep this the same way. Dark Souls will not have an easy mode.
True.
Because the game is designed in this way.
True. It wouldn't be that game, right? It wouldn't be the author of the game. True.
Yeah, and many people think that their idea to move the ghost, for example, with another joystick and freely move it, will make it easier, but it's not. You have way more freedom to move, of course, but not it doesn't make easier to move.
True.
We tried it a lot. We received this feedback, made good effort to understand this feedback and try to give it a chance, but it was not the best option, although the player thinks it is. So of course we have to thank all the feedback we received, but not always is a good feedback.
True. Very true.
But we try to listen everyone.
And I respect that, and it's important that you communicate through this episode with honesty that you had tried to care about this feedback as well and try to implement it.
We did at one point have the free roaming rotation without the fixed angles, but playing we found it that it would be more effective, this fixed rotation angle system for the ghost, basically because all of the diagonal really stretched passageways that you have to blow your bubble through, and sometimes will require a lot of speed of the player, and it just allows for a more snappier angle position to quickly redirect the bubble, basically.
Actually, the game is built over a grid, and if you find a straight line, it's a straight line. If you have to, the small deviation of the bubble will break this speed needed, or the diagonal. It's better to have it fixed than giving freedom, total freedom.
I see. Speaking of the topic that you mentioned as working in a team of working on this game, do you believe in perfect synergy between team members, or is it something that develops out through the process of working together? Let's switch from the game's topics to the actual workflow and work ethic and working together as a team.
It's since this is like our first project, for me especially, it was hard to get into the team mentality at first. I have experience working as a solo designer, so communicating with everyone and planning. I think video games are very special in this regard because it's you never finish a feature on your own. You always do a certain part of a process, and then the next person works on it, and you communicate with each other. It's a very chain event of things you have to do, so one thing works, and so communication is super important, super important. And I also learned to be a bit more open with the ideas that I present to the team, being more open to feedback and to changing things, because I might have not considered something the game designer or the sound designer or the programmers will think of, or even Chima. So it depends. So yes, it's a very active workflow between everyone, and damn, I don't know how bigger companies do it. That's crazy. Like we don't have like departments or anything because we weren't enough people, but yeah, it's a thing.
True.
Yeah. One of the worst things was that we were each one was in his house. Like Nestor is in his house now, and I'm in mine now. Sometimes this situation makes communication difficult.
I see.
So we have to learn to communicate between departments or profiles or members in the best accurate way to achieve the best result possible. In the art department, where we both and some the external profiles that helped us, but mainly we both had to communicate a lot. We had a lot of fights, we had a lot of good moments, But I think it's normal when you are pouring your heart in something and you want the best result of
it's again passion,
what-
so it has some fighting parts as well. Yeah.
So as Nestor said, I don't know how big teams like 400 person do this, but we were like between 10 and 15 person in the work process. And I think although we had these communication issues, we finally learned how to communicate and make this advance in the good direction. So we learned a lot in this aspect. So I think we managed. Yeah.
See.
Yes.
Again, a more personal question from me would be, I believe that all of us creators who create our own craft, they always tend to put our inner self, inner soul into the crafts we make, even if it's about experiencing loss, love, happy, or negative moments in our life, in our past life. Is this statement of mine true for your personal work when you work on video games, even about Bubble Ghost Remake or other games? And if your answer is yes, what examples could you bring us to the table, or what examples could you name from your personal work? Again, of course, my question goes to both of you.
The good luck about being a small team was that everyone could give something personal into this game.
Okay.
For example, our producer, Pedro Seco, write the main history. He was the scripter, maybe, where all the team built the story, the complete story together.
I see.
And he gave the main stone, la piedra angular.
The main outline, the first draft.
Yeah.
Okay.
He gave us like a map to draw the story on top of, right?
I see.
Over this map, Nestor wrote the poetry, made the comics, and he made the comics with total freedom to tell a story. So I think he made this as a personal thing.
Right, of course.
I think everyone gave something in this game, personal. By myself, for example, I can recall a specific moment, but I have to know I didn't draw anything in the game. Everything was made by Nestor, except one thing that is a picture, a frame of my little dog, Lucy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I did. Yeah. I really wanted to include in the game. I want her to be in the game. So
nice.
If you find a frame with a dog, it's my dog.
Nice.
So we have the opportunity to have a space to give something personal. There are many personal Easter eggs.
So many. There's a lot of Easter eggs. We have a world with a lot of paintings of creators that inspired us and that you can find in the game. And there wasn't like a clear outline of what do the sections of the castle look like. Okay, we have like different worlds that we need to put in, but what do they look like? What is the aesthetic of full freedom to do whatever we wanted? And that was so much fun. Like I got to really put in some aesthetics that I found pleasing, that I thought would be fun and varying, and character design wise, of course, like I was able to go full bonkers. So that's the beauty of working against such a small team. Everyone really got to put out their personal signature on the game, right, and really make it our own. So that was really special.
True.
Super special.
True. Okay.
So, here it is.
Nice.
Lucy, there she is, beautiful as ever.
He wanted to come to say hi.
Say hi to Lucy. Yeah. Very nice. Thank you for your honesty, by the way, on this topic too. Thank you. So another personal question from me would be, how have you changed as a person in other territories of your own life from being a game developer for so many years? So what changes were there, if there were, of course, any changes from being a game developer in other territories of your own life? So outside the video game industry, what changes were there by being a game developer?
Interestingly, well, before working professionally
Okay.
in this area, I say my main hobby was let's make video games in my spare time, right? Not so much anymore. I think my hobbies have turned more outside, away from the screen, right? I think it's important to have balance in life,
True.
I love expressing myself creatively, even in my spare times on personal projects. But I have leaned a bit more away. A bit of space is good. That is like my main change, and also like how I mentioned earlier, like my overall acceptance to feedback and being more open-minded in regards to work. I think that also is like a big change that I went through, and also like all the things that we have learned professionally.
True.
Like delivering a finished title is really accomplishing and encouraging, and it makes you feel good. So like we learned a lot of things professionally, and I think it also changed us a lot, right? Yeah. I'm sure Chima can agree with that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, one of my most personal changes, I think, is that I actually enjoy my job. I have the belief that working is not funny. It's a need, but you don't enjoy working. But I changed my mind about this because now I enjoy my job, and although it's not playing all day like many people think that
like you
make games, you are all day with your controller, and it's not. It's the opposite, but
it's work still.
I wake up in the morning and I said, okay, let's go. I had other jobs where it was like, oh my god, not again. And living with this feeling of not enjoying what you do for most part of the day is really not. I don't know if health consuming, but happiness consuming.
True.
Yes.
I feel now I
very much agree.
I'm passionate about what I'm doing. I can spend all the time I have to doing this because I love it. And when I come, I close the computer and go back of this room, go away from this room, I'm still happy. I'm not drained. I'm not tired. I'm eager to do what I enjoy the most.
True. So you would like to go back even work more, right?
Yeah.
Don't tell that to our boss. But yes, it's a lot of fun. I am getting used to the idea of loving your work is beautiful.
Yeah.
And I hope we get to do this for a long time.
True.
Because just like being able to express yourself in that way is really powerful, right?
Yeah.
Having that in your day-to-day is great.
I see.
Yeah, I don't want to get misunderstood, but for example, I don't enjoy working in a shop.
It's understandable. Yeah.
But I know there's people that enjoy a lot it,
who love
but
it,
I
didn't. Who loves it.
And I had to spend my day in the transport, subway, and so it was exhausting, emotionally exhausting, and it was like, what am I doing with my life?
True.
Now I know what I'm doing with my life, and I'm proud of something I'm doing to share, to post in my social media and say, look, this is my song, this is my work, this is something I do.
True.
And I can feel that someone who works in a retail store or whatever can feel the same proud of his job.
I believe that there are some people who do it because I believe that all people have different talent, and I'm sure that some people would love that. Yeah.
By the way, to me,
Sorry for interrupting you. What was the causing
Yeah, true.
effect that you haven't started earlier to work on video games? Because, like you mentioned, you have been working in so many territories, right? But you always wanted to be happy and you always wanted to chase your dreams. What was the causing effect behind this decision that for so many years you haven't started on working in the video game industry, but in other territories? Was it fear, or was it like... Or
No.
was it like you were scared, or you did not have the confidence, or any other reasons?
In my case, it was like the idea that you have to work, you have to be a good professional
I see.
and learn and be ready to face all challenges that you can face.
I see.
And I learned a lot of all my jobs.
I see.
I know I improved as a person and as an artist. And when the opportunity came with this game, I knew it was the
time.
good moment because I was ready. I was ready for it,
I see.
and I will not fail. Maybe it's some kind of fear, but
no, it's understandable.
also...
Don't get me wrong. If it's fear, it's also understandable.
No.
Like there are a lot of people who just fear because like it might be not stable, or they might fail or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the thing is not only fear. Is I think it's fear mixed with the need to do things right.
I see.
You know,
I see.
if I had the opportunity to make a game in my early ages without experience, without knowledge, I will fail. I will fail for sure because I'm another person. I'm not the same that
True. It's understandable.
years ago.
Yeah. It's like gaining knowledge on the journey of your life, and then...
Yeah, devs always recommend do not start with your dream game, right? Make something first to gain some experience, and then you can work on that title that you've had in your head all your life.
True.
As for me, well, I'm still a youngster. I mean, Jemai is that's not what I meant. Jemai is, of course, also young, relatively speaking. What I meant is I'm young to the working environment, and I have not had so much prior work experience. I worked a bit as a graphic designer, but I always try to pursue this specific job because I knew it was gonna be fun. And if I'm gonna do one thing 8 hours a day, I might as well do this.
True. Like you mentioned at the beginning, that you would like to be happy about what you work and do. Yeah, true.
Right, of course.
Very true.
Super important stuff.
Okay. My question again goes to the game, back to the game itself. What was the decision behind like releasing the game as a physical edition just for the Nintendo Switch? Because I was pretty much interested in this topic as well. Because as far as I know, but correct me if I'm wrong about it, the game won't be releasing with a physical edition for other platforms, like for PlayStation 5. What was the reason behind this decision? Or you don't know?
Yeah. In the start, the game was only going to be released in Steam and Switch.
Okay.
So the only physical edition possible was Switch.
Okay.
PlayStation 5 was a decision we took later in the development.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah,
late.
You announced it like 1 or 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Actually, it was yesterday when we announced it.
But on Game Press it was like 2 weeks ago. There is a like a website which collects all the data about it, and Game Press. Do you know that website? And they released it there, so they send it to all the press, and I'm subscribed to that mailing list.
Maybe there was something.
Maybe our publisher.
Yeah, we are not aware of all these movements because it depends of the publisher.
I see.
So we know what we made for these ports and so. But we don't know about dates. For example, we don't know why the game is being released this month instead of Halloween, for example.
Yeah, it's understandable.
We don't know. We can say we are really happy with the everything they are doing for us. They are publishing the game.
No, don't get me wrong. It's just I was curious about why there won't be like a physical edition for PlayStation 5.
Maybe in the future, if the game sells well.
I see.
There's a PS5 edition in a physical. Anyway, I think it's a game intended for being portable. So I don't know if playing in a PS5 is the best experience because of the screen, maybe in PS Portal or something like that. But I personally enjoy more the game in Switch or Steam Deck. I don't like to play in my computer because I think it's not so enjoyable in a big screen than in a small screen. I have to say, the game in a Switch OLED looks beautiful. It's amazing, and it's not good me to say it, but I'm really proud of what we achieved in the OLED version of the Switch because it's amazing. That's it.
Thank you for that. Okay. What challenges, by the way, both of you, again, I'm asking a question from both of you. What challenges would you like to face in the future? Since you mentioned also at the very beginning of our interview that you love to face challenges, both of you. What challenges would you like to face in the future as video game developers?
I'd like to dip my toes into pixel art and do some different art styles, try new things, master different art styles, just like to keep things fresh. I'd love to do something like more vectorial also, perhaps. We'll see. But something to keep the experience fresh and learn new things. I think learning is so much fun that I wouldn't want to stay in a comfortable bubble of, okay, this is my style.
Yourself, yeah.
We're just gonna do games like this. Nah, let's keep innovating. Let's try something new. Learning is fun. It's I don't want to be an expert just doing the same thing all over again, right? So I'm very interested in trying some pixel art out and doing a bit more of the animation in future projects.
I see.
Yeah.
What about you?
Actually, Nestor and I have this talk many times, and we both agree to develop our skills in pixel art. It's something like we have in common, and we really can enjoy the idea of someday making a game in pixel art. But my personal, as I said before, you will not be surprised.
Japanese
my personal
RPG.
goal is to make an RPG, of course.
Yeah. By the way, which Final Fantasy was your favorite? Because mine was 10 for a personal reason, but which one was yours?
It depends of the moment of my life you ask me.
Okay.
Because, for example, I really love the 8th one because it was my first Final Fantasy.
Okay.
But I really love 9th one because I think it has the most beautiful story.
Okay.
I love 10 because I love the world building of this game.
Nice.
I have many good words for all of them.
For different reasons.
Actually, all these frames I have here are the Japanese version of 7, 8, and 9.
Oh, nice.
I can show you.
Nice, I see it. Nice. You are a huge fan then. Nice.
Cool.
I made it in myself because I really love this game. What the meaning of they have to me.
True.
But I don't know if Final Fantasy is the game I want to do. You know, they mean a lot for me, but maybe I prefer something like Sea of Stars, the Chrono Trigger, this kind of game.
Okay.
I mentioned Sea of Stars because it's more recent, but I prefer Chrono Trigger, I have to say.
True.
Something like that. More goofy or funny or more happy. Happy is not the word, but not Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy is another level of game.
Game-wise, I think I'd really like to do a multiplayer experience that is a couch multiplayer experience. I think would be very fun because sharing games with friends is so cool. And for example, I really like It Takes Two. It Takes Two is such an amazing game.
Yeah.
I'd love to do a couch multiplayer experience. I don't care if it's a platformer or an RPG, but that feeling is just so great. I'd love to dip my toes into that as well. I think that would make an amazing game, regardless of the genre. Just like couch multiplayer experiences are so much fun.
True. I even have, by the way, a show on my Twitch channel where we gather up with friends. It's called Kanapé Krumpli Cooperative Cat, which means like in English is like couch potato Tuesday co-op. It translates. And we gather up, we eat like French fries, and we play couch co-op games together with my friends and with other streamers as well. So because
so much fun.
I miss.
I need to join you guys one day.
True. Very true.
Me too, please.
Very true. Because I miss the feeling of like playing together, not just online with my friends, and everyone who I know, but in real life too. So I realized, hey, let's do a show about it. So yeah. Okay.
That is amazing. That is so cool.
Thank you.
You have like a dedicated show to that.
Yeah.
I need to check it out.
Thank you. We talked here today about a lot of topics. Before I go into some chat questions, are you guys having anything to say? Do you have anything to say or talk about that we might missed talking about, or I missed asking about, that you would like to?
Well, I want to thank you for the space, of course.
Thank you.
And I want to point to we both are the artists from the game, but I want to mention all the team because I really love working with them. They are a lot of talented people. I'm not being pushed to say this, ¿vale? Okay, but
dollars.
But I want to the people to know that working in video games is not so easy as it is being thought.
True.
And they made it easy. And they are talented people with a lot of good ideas and good experience. And I want the people who play Babel Ghost know that a bunch of 10 people made that possible. And I want to thank these people, and of course every person that gives time to this game is giving sense to this time of these people, and I want to thank it publicly.
Thank you for that.
Yes,
what about
we
you?
had a really cool team, and it was fun. It was fun to work with them, and they made the overall experience a lot easier, like Chima said, and we're a solid team that can face many challenges now, and we can. We're excited to see what we make in the future.
Me
right?
too. Maybe
I hope
pixel art RPG. Yeah, both, right? Pixel art RPG with a couch co-op feature.
With couch co-op.
Of course.
And platformer. Don't forget about that. Yeah, without the said
all of that
beginning.
Mixed in.
Exactly. New genre coming out soon. Yeah. Okay, let's go deeper into the questions of the chat. Let me scroll back all the way at the very beginning. Okay. Let me know, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if there was any question. Oh, Lullaby was asking, was it your first agency? I'm not sure what, due to the what's
the
topic.
Publisher?
I think yes, but I'm not sure.
She talking about our publisher?
I'm not sure.
Talking about our publisher?
I'm not sure to what topic. What was the question for?
If they are referring to if it's like our first publisher agreement.
Yes, Chancellor.
Because it's our first.
Yeah.
Yes, because it's our first game, right? Like we haven't released anything before Babel Ghost, so this was our first partnership, and it was cool. They managed to deliver a really beautiful collector's edition. They have resolved a lot of our questions that we had. So the partnership was easy. So yes.
Yeah, it's a huge achievement to get our first game published worldwide.
True.
Right.
And we are really, really thankful for that. Actually, this picture I have in my bag is the Asian key art for the game.
Oh, okay.
Asia and the rest of the world works differently, and they have another art for the game. The game itself is the same, but the key art is different, and it's something studied and proved by them that we didn't know. So it's good to have some talented people covering your back.
True.
So yeah.
Thank you for the question and the answer. Lullaby also asking, was it hard to find them, the publisher, or was it easy to find the right publisher for your team?
We can't answer that because we don't know.
Okay.
Actually,
I know that our producer Pedro was looking for a while, and we offered the game to a lot of different publishers.
I see.
So it can't have been easy.
I see.
With no proven track record and all that. Lullaby at the start, Shields, they asked which platform game you loved most in your childhood.
True. Yeah, I missed that question. Sorry.
His childhood, sorry to interrupt you, but his childhood was like 2 years ago. He's very young to me.
My childhood, so like yesterday. What was your favorite game like yesterday, dude? Oh well, since it's so recent, since my childhood is so recent, I can tell you all about it. Well, specifically platformer, Rayman Legends and Rayman Origins were pretty cool. They got me a bit more in the teens, not exactly childhood. Super Mario Galaxy was a huge platformer game for me. Just really creative and really tight platforming. One of Nintendo's best, definitely.
True. Thank you for the question and answer again. Thank you. Any more question? Ladies and gentlemen, any more question? Bármilyen kérdés, hölgyek, urak? Any more questions? Let us know. Let me read back.
Now or never.
The chat. Yeah, now or never.
Your final chance.
No, actually, people can ask questions in my Discord as well, but yeah, if they miss that.
Right. Yeah. No, but this way it's more dramatic.
True. Very true. Kafar says, actually, yeah, you read that out loud. Actually, the hardest part was getting the game to run at 60 FPS on Switch. Started out being designed as one thing. We got junk code and the whole thing crawled away.
Yeah.
I see.
This Kafar is our lead programmer.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
He's one of the. It's a magician for me. It's a magician. What he does with code is from another world. So I don't know if Kafar is around here.
I think yes.
Is?
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Final Fantasy.
He just hopped in.
Was that your favorite game? Lullaby is asking, like Final Fantasy series?
No. I think it's more like the favorite Final Fantasy question. I have many favorite games. It depends on the moment of my life.
I see.
I think actually Rayman Origins and Legends were one of my favorite games at the moment.
Hell yeah.
But for example, I enjoy a lot the Monster Hunter saga.
Nice.
Persona 5 is in one of my favorite games. But I was thinking about my first platformer game in the Nestor question. And I think one of these games that you play a lot and you forget for some reason, for me, is Wario Land 3.
Okay.
It was one of my favorite games in my childhood, and I spent tons of hours playing it. And I forgot about the game. I forgot about Wario. I forgot about everything until a couple months ago that I decided to play it for first time, and it was like
And you realize it's not the first time, right?
I've been here, and I'm enjoying a lot this game. And then the pieces started to fall down in the correct places.
Wait, I know this game.
I know
I'm
this
a
game because
professional at this game. It's easy for me, and others are struggling.
Damn, what are the chances of that? Huh?
True. It's interesting to know about how our mind keeps forgetting about our childhood memories, right? That were important to us. Yeah.
I have to ask you,
Yep.
is Crash Bandicoot your favorite game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, I
It's
was about to ask.
it's at the second or third place. Like my most favorite game is Final Fantasy X for a very personal reason. My grandfather has passed away when I was 12, and that was the first time I started playing Final Fantasy. And from that point of my life, I always replay. Every year I replay Final Fantasy X, but I never complete it. I go to the end with the fight with Sin, but I never defeat Sin. Because when I started playing it and he passed away, I just was so sad about my life and him passing away and missing him so much that I couldn't really sit down in order to defeat Sin. And that's why I decided that it will be my personal journey to remember him and the memories with him. So that's why Final Fantasy X is my all-time favorite game.
That's a very good story to
Thank you.
prove that games
That's beautiful.
are more than entertainment thing.
True.
It's something personal.
Very true. And very interesting, like you said, because like every year I replay the game, I always like discovered something new in the game. Like I remember like being more adulty, like being at 19 or 20 years old, and I discovered everything like it was new because like I learned about the political stuff in the game which I might not understood when I was a kid. I learned about like the racism thing about like the Kimari and his tribe, that people were racist about Kimari and why was it feeling very bad to Kimari and his tribe, and then his tribe even left him because he decided to go with Yuna on the journey. It was very interesting that I learned every new piece of it, because people say that a game is just a game, right? But I don't believe in that, because games offer more, like you said, more experiences, even if you can connect with a personal level with that game, with the exact game.
Indeed.
So yeah. But Crash Bandicoot was my very first game. I remember that. I was like 5 or 6 or 10, and it was my very first game. It was like one of my
Cool.
not parents, but like from my family, someone was playing it on the PlayStation 5, and I was like, hey, what's that? Like
Yeah.
Oh, epic. Have you played Crash Bandicoot 4, the newer one?
I did, yeah.
Did you like it?
Yes. To be honest, yes. And I love the fact that like they haven't tuned down on the original like difficulty settings, so they try to like have it for the newcomers as well, but they stay true the original vision. I always say that these games...
It was super hard.
Exactly. And I always say that these games have to be hard, right? Because that's how you remember them. And I feel like that's why I always feel like, and I always say this at my Dev Live show and other podcasts as well, that I don't feel like developers should always open-mindedly listen to all the feedback, because if you sacrifice your own vision, which comes with a game, then the game will be for everyone, but for no one, right? So it's especially it comes to the multiplayer games. I remember like playing Destiny 2, and it got changed. The meta got changed every 2 months because of the players, because they started to cry about one weapon that was very OP, and then they nerfed it and they buffed it again after 4 months. Like, it was stupid, right? Like, I don't know. I feel like a developer knows what is a good game for a player. It's just like I always say that players have so high expectations that developers are not meeting it, because the players do not know what expectations devs should meet, right, with their game. And that's how players end up having these discussions that, hey, it's a bad game, this is a shitty game. No, it's not. It's just not meeting your unbelievably high expectations, right? So yeah, and that's what
meeting the players' demand. I imagine can't be that easy, because well, games also are very slow and their development, right? Maybe
True.
someone wants something, and by the time you finish it, it's not a big deal anymore.
True. And sometimes you do not even know, because like devs might not be communicating towards the players that, hey, we changed this on the journey of the process of making this game, or we changed that, or we cut out those things, right? And how do people will know? And they will get mad, but it's stupid, in my opinion, that these people get mad. Like I discussed it before our interview, that I feel like people should really like understand that you guys has mentioned that it's hard to work on a video game. It's fun, but on the other side, it's work. Like it's not just you snap a finger and the game is done. So it's not like that. So yeah,
Totally.
Yeah. Lego is saying, no question, just a comment. Well done, guys. It's an amazing what you did there. It's always good to see people being excited and passionate about their project, and good luck in the future. Thank you for that.
That's great. That's great. Hope Lewasa likes our game, and and hopefully they check it out and like it very much. That would be amazing. And
True.
that's a super beautiful comment.
Thank you for that. Lullaby is also asking, how about the Jazz Jackrabbit? Did you guys
I never heard of this game. I made a research, but I think I never heard of it. Maybe I play it and I remember that I a pro of this game because I played a lot, but not for now. I don't remember the playing this game before.
I see. What about you? Have you played Jazz Jackrabbit or no? Or you don't know?
Which one? Sorry?
Jazz Jackrabbit. Jazz Jackrabbit. Have you played it? Or you never heard about it? You have to Google it. You have to Google it. No, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, Lullaby says Jackrabbit was my first game, actually. Lego says, I grew up on Crash Bandicoot. Now my 7-year-old daughter is playing it on my old PS Vita and enjoys it just as much as I did almost 30 years ago. Nice.
It looks fun. But that's all I can say.
It was also like a remaster or remake, if I remember correctly about Jazz Jackrabbit. Yeah, right. Might be
cool.
Lullaby also says, "No, go for it. Sorry.
No,
go for that.
No, I was saying that Lullaby 92 made a good point that it has to be awesome to share a video game that you enjoyed as a child with your child or your future child.
True.
It has to be really beautiful way to connect with them.
True.
I hope my future son or daughter enjoys video games, because if not, I don't know what I'm going to do.
What do I have in common with my child?
I want to change them or anything.
You will give back. I'm just joking. Yeah. Hopefully. Which would be the first game that you would show to your kid, by the way? Which would be the first game that you would show?
I don't know, but I think that kids change a lot. So if I try to show them, I don't know, the original Pokemon, Red and Blue, it was a mistake, because they are slow, they are gray, they are not overstimulating.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Although I would love to show them these games of my childhood, I think I would prefer something to share in the first instance. I don't know. I don't know. A recent game that it's colorful. Animal Crossing, for example. I love Animal Crossing, the New Horizons game. If my son or daughter enjoys Animal Crossing, it's Animal Crossing, because I want to share the experience of playing with them. Of course, I will wait and hope for them to play Final Fantasy in some moment of their lives, specifically 9, because I think it's the most nice in the term of story, the music, the goofy way of. But to anticipate anything because maybe I have to trade them. They don't like video games, so
hopefully that won't happen.
hopefully.
Yeah, true, very true. Lullaby says playing it's like back the memories from our old. I did not know about your game, guys. The Game original, added it to my wish list now. Thank you for
Thank you very much, Lewasa.
Nice.
Or suffer it the same way you. Yeah, or both.
Yeah. Also, sadly, I'm old enough to version 2, Lego said. Yeah. Okay, any more questions? Bármilyen más kérdés, hölgyek, urak? Any more questions? Got you. Any more questions, ladies and gentlemen?
It doesn't.
Well, I wanted to thank you again for this interview.
Thank you.
That was great, and it was.
Thank you.
And yeah,
there are no other questions that. And thank you everyone who joined us. I will the Steam page of the game if people could not see
I don't know if you guys mentioned it while I was away, but thank you to our game.
Yeah, of course.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah,
Thank you.
Joined us for today's interview of my dev episodes. Thank you so much again. It was really a pleasure and an honor. More of your minutes of stream, but for those who will be the version on Twitch or on YouTube, thank you so much for joining us for this episode. List the game and try it out. Leave your and be on the lookout for our friends' future pixel art JRPG with some platformer elements, maybe. Who knows what the future will
all of it combined.
hold.
Yes,
True.
yes.
For our friends here,
it will come out.
We hope it happens
one day.
True. Thank you, everyone.
One day.
Thank you so much for
Okay.
being here with
Thank
us.
you, guys.